Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beaver Mush, and today it's my monthly segment, Maddie's Monthly Mentions, where I talk about the records from the month that I didn't get a chance to review. I do it every month at the end, and what I do, for those who haven't seen one of these videos, is I go through and I basically just list off the metal albums that came out that I didn't get a chance to review. I am a one-person operation. I try to get a video out about every other day, but still, that's just not enough to cover everything I enjoy. If it's on this list, does that mean it was less than or I enjoyed less than records that I reviewed? A lot of times there are a lot of factors in picking the records that I review. A lot of times I like to try to review stuff that I don't see other videos or a lot of written stuff about. But records that I skip because of those reasons are fair game for a video like this, and I will obviously mention them to you and tell you, hey, you should listen to this if you haven't already. Now, I got a lot to get through. There were 5 Fridays, 5 big release days in March. So I'm just really going to go through and just kind of briefly just gun through and list these off. I'm going to start with 4 records of bands I interviewed this month because I already covered them, but I still wanted to say, hey, the record was good. Go listen to it. So without any further ado, let's get started. First off, we have Maggot Crown, Apparition of Faces, some death metal / grind from the very prolific Justin Vallis and Jarrett Moran. Out of the UK, Allfather put out Violent Truth, which is just some fiery, exceptional, hardcore infused sludge metal. Transgressive put out Extreme Transgression, just some lot of righteous anger in this extremely aggressive, hard-hitting, charged thrash album. Out of Denver, Necropanther put out Betrayal, this genre-bending mix of speed and thrash and some like melodic death metal and even some blackened elements. It's just a solid heavy metal album. The progressive black metal, Viking metal icons, Enslaved, put out Hemdall, just another winner in their arsenal. And we got Summoning Apocalyptic Devastation from the Seattle-based Plague Bearer, and this is just some hyper evil black death metal. We got some really solid blackened death metal out of Hungary from Hordo with Form. Argento out of Italy put out First Comes Madness, Then Comes Death. This is just some chaotic mixtures of thrash and black metal and death metal. It's pretty insane. Palace of Dust from Dream Upon Tomb, some melodic black metal, death metal out of Australia. Dawn's Reflection put out one of the more fresh and exciting black metal demos that I've heard this year thus far. Etruskia put out Twilight Murmurations, some Ohio-based atmospheric black metal. And out of France, Gorod put out The Orb, some like techie, proggy, death metal type music. Out of Chicago, Resin put out Solace. This is some like psychedelic, spacey, stoner doom type stuff. The ever prolific Primordial Serpent out of Winnipeg put out another great EP called Funeral Winter. And Vitriolic Sage had a new one, just some more fantastic Chinese black metal. Quallen put out Silva Hijasus, some Finnish black metal for people who want their black metal to lean more towards 100% pure aggression. Burden of Ymir put out Hirat. This is some Ontario-based blackened folk metal, some really exceptional stuff. Out of Italy, Frozen Crown, Call of the North. I've tweeted about this one a couple times. My power metal wreck of the month. I really like this one. And out of Sweden, Isolate put out Anesidora. This is some mournful epic doom for you. The US-based Discordant Meditation put out Interface, a very zany, sort of dissonant and experimental death metal EP. And we got Deranged from Hyperdontia, another very savage death metal EP for you. Decrypto put out Sabasso's Culte out of Quebec. It's a monstrous death metal demo that doesn't feel like a demo. This thing feels very mature and a lot of experience behind it. 100 R from ASCII, the Copenhagen, highly acclaimed at this point, melancholic black metal project. Another stunner. Lamination of Immolated Souls from Sepulchrum, some gruesome, ugly death metal out of Chile. Orderly out of France put out Mass of Perdition. This is just some furious, no frills black metal. Obiasat Dwybot Penatin, best pronunciation I could give, from Anarchon out of Brazil. Some cavernous, hollow, ultra frightening death metal. And we had 11 Days, a new EP from Spectral Lore, Greek ambient atmospheric black metal from the always excellent and prolific Aeolos. Out of Virginia, we have some like epic melodic death metal from Fort Token with Triumphs. Very catchy but also highly aggressive tunes here. It's a really enjoyable listen. And out of Germany, Downfall of Gaia put out Silhouette of Disgust, another great record from the now highly acclaimed kind of crust punk infused post black metal band. Out of Poland, Entropia put out Total, and this one really caught me by surprise. One of the more exciting kind of post metal sludge or of experimental metal albums I've heard this year. Also has kind of a blackened edge to it. And out of California, Night Demon came back with Outsider. Don't overthink this one. Just some really enjoyable, really solid traditional heavy metal. Deviaire from Penal Era, Romanian post-atmospheric black metal. Aura put out Triad 3 Nyx, and this is just some stunning atmospheric black metal out of Switzerland. Catacomb, When the Stars Are Right, out of France. There's some really crushing and brutal death metal for you. Dawn Raid, To Know the Light, the anarchist black metal project that I'm a huge fangirl of. The Mainstays did it again. This time, some more folksy elements added into the mix, and it's a welcome change. It's another winner from this band. Out of Singapore, we had Songs for a Tarnished World from Choir. Now, I think, looking in this one, I think it was technically a re-release from 2021, but it also seems like it's being marketed as a new release, and it seems to be new to a lot of people, including myself, so we're going to count it. And this is just some oppressive, blackened doom metal. This is some really nightmarish stuff. And out of Italy, Aphotic put out Abyss Gazer, some crushing death doom with a lot of suffocating atmosphere. Out of Italy, we had Extirpated Light from Maze of Sothis, and this is just some ripping technical death metal. Also out of Italy, Shores of Null put out The Loss of Beauty, some gothy melodic doom metal. This is one that I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did going in, but I'm glad I gave it the chance that I did. We had Failing from the Portland-based Depleted. This is just some fantastic, noisy sort of funeral doom. And we had the second EP from Melissa out of Brooklyn. This is one of my favorite kind of black metal punk fusions right now, and I can't wait for a full length from them. Out of China, Bergrazar released Step on the Path of Eternal Salvation, just some ferocious blackened death metal. And out of Brazil, Outlaw put on Reaching Beyond Asaya. I got high praise for this one, just some melodic black metal excellence. Invertebrate from Downcross out of Belarus, just some pissed off black metal with a lot of aggression for you. Spirit Possession of the Sign out of Portland, some kind of thrashy black metal with some traditional heavy metal leanings. Saturnian Bloodstorm from Lamp of Murmur out of LA. Look, I get it. I understand the Immortal comparisons, but I don't care. This thing whips. Out of Italy, Blaze of Sorrow put out Voltus Fati, some folk-tinged atmospheric black metal with some epic sort of passages to it. And out of Mumbai, Demon Stealer put out The Propaganda Machine. It's kind of this thrashy death metal project with some really cool like Queen choruses as well. Out of St. Petersburg, Russia, Varhara put out Pustuts Vet, I believe is the pronunciation of this. And this is some post-leaning atmospheric black metal. And out of Italy, Thorn put out Inferno, which is just some highly aggressive blackened crust punk. Old Forest out of the UK put out Sootwike, which is some folk-tinged black metal for you. And Old Throne put out a really solid atmospheric black metal project called In the Land of Ghost out of New Zealand. Out of Australia, Mammon's Throne put out a self-titled release, just some really enjoyable sort of stoner doom. Out of Sweden, Unpure put out Prophecies Ablaze, just some really furious, aggressive, blackened thrash / speed metal. And we had some Brazilian speed / thrash metal with Evil Cult putting out The Devil is Always Looking for Souls. And that concludes my list. Hopefully there's a couple records here for you to dive into, or maybe something caught your ear, or maybe you're just going to scroll through and check something out. And that's kind of the goal. That's all I have. If you like this video, tell me, hit the like button. Consider subscribing, it would mean the world to me. Leave a comment, I love engaging with those. Tell me if any of these records are new to you, if you have thoughts on any of them, if you've checked out any of them. I'd love to hear that and start a conversation about some of these records. I have a Twitter you can follow, link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. And hey, keep it metal. My name is Maddie, aka Beaver Mosh, and I'm signing off.